Okay, so we are live.
High five.
We did it. Okay, we are live. So, identify ways that your conversations thus far have been supportive. In what ways have you challenged one another? Be specific. So I feel like for me, our conversations have been super supportive because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere and I don't, obviously we have like 4 social workers in my county and obviously they're all my coworkers. So, and I do my practicum at my work, obviously, because it's under a social worker. And, so when I have things that I either like disagree with or things that I would do differently or like just things that I would want to run by someone, I don't really have a lot of people at work that I can do that with in a safe place. And I do that a little bit with my field instructor, but again, it's like we work together and I don't know, there's always that risk of like offending people, or especially with this racial equity assessment. We've got a lot of room for improvement and I'm pretty opinionated. So it's been really good to have you guys to talk to about that. And I think you guys did a super good job pushing back on me when I was feeling really angry and fired up about the HR woman and her limited understanding of a lot of the things we're working on. And you kind of challenged me to see it from a different perspective and to I don't know, just like have some compassion and some grace for her experience and the reality that, she's not a social worker. She works with a bunch of social workers. And it actually turned out to be a super good educational moment where I got to kind of teach her a couple of things and she got to teach me a couple of things. And I feel like we are communicating a little better. So thanks for calling me out for being a little bit judgmental. And yeah, working on that still.
I think everybody has a good time. This has been I process by talking, and it's been nice to have a place to go and just for me to process and have like people like I can't be like making my friends process with me all the time or my partner. So I try out a lot of ideas here and see how you folks respond to these ideas that I have, and then I'm able to expand on them or like toss them depending on whether they're good or bad. Obviously the most recent example was the one that I just spilled on for 30 minutes with y'all just now. Because I don't know, without a place to talk about it, the scenario is so big in my head, and then after I get to talk about it, it feels a little smaller and more manageable. Mm-hmm. And in terms of pushback, I feel like it's more like y'all ask the right questions of me, so I can start thinking of things that a little differently, or where I get to expand my thought process on something because of something y'all have asked, which has been really useful. I was thinking back to like our initial conversations, and they were so not nuanced. And I do think my fondness for you both has grown so much, and it's so interesting because I was like, I'm not sure this triad is going to work or whatever, because we all are in different spots and it's all such different experiences. But I'm actually finding that I benefit a lot from talking to you both, because you both give me a nice place to like vent and contain, and then kind of expand what I have rolling around in my head. Mm-hmm. It's nice to be able to word vomit on people who who can handle it and can help you contain it. So, yeah, did I even answer the question?
I think so.
Okay, great, doing good.
I agree. I think, Erica, I appreciate your reflection on kind of the path or the journey that our little meetings have taken. And I being an online student for almost 3 full years now, I think my connection with people, I felt it lacking for sure in the program, and that's been a struggle for me at different times. And I think this meeting and our time together has really reinforced the sense of community and support within, the learning and the internship and personal life and work. And it's just like family, the balance is so intense and heavy sometimes. And it's been great to have faces and you guys and be consistent. And so I've really appreciated that. I also love listening to both of you. I feel like sometimes I'm not extremely talkative, but I really love listening to both of you and hearing, we're all going through such different things, but we're all doing a lot of the same shit at the same time. And it's really supportive. It feels good. I've been also thinking, based on our meetings, about joining my local NASW chapter and kind of going to some of their events and kind of dipping my toe in and seeing, because I don't have the outlet for processing this stuff. I don't really feel that from my supervisor at work. I don't really get what I think I want or need in that regard from her. And so I'm trying to figure out where I can continue that.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. They have a mixer coming up in a couple weeks, and I've never gone to any of their stuff, but I always get the emails. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go. And I live in a small town, so it's, I'm curious who actually goes. Not a small town.
I wish you could bring us along. Like, you could just record it. Like, hold up your computer. And so we can
I did, in the effort to figure out how to do the live stream, I totally downloaded YouTube Live on my phone, so maybe I can secretly broadcast to you guys. And
that would be awesome. Okay. Are you committed to remaining connected and or building new / intentional dyads with others as you move into your next steps post grad school?
I mean, I kind of just said some of that, but I would love to stay connected with you guys in the future and seeing whatever shape that takes. You guys meeting in person and hold up a little paper cutout of me when you see each other live.
Yeah.
Human space.
Yeah. And if either of you want to come, if you need to come to Portland for some reason or want to visit, we can figure something out. People can stay with me, even though my house has gotten, a toddler attacked it. But yeah, I've always seen, I've always thought it's really important to have relationships with other social workers and people that can give you perspective. So I'm actually developing some of those right now with within PSU. Now I know the head of student affairs. So I spent some time in her office and talked. I do see it as being important. Plus, I am a person who has to process, and if I don't have a safe place to do that, then it will end up someplace that's not safe. Like, I acknowledge that about myself, that it just circles in my head until I can just talk it out. Yeah. So it's crucial for me to have a place for this stuff to go. That's within HIPAA and IRCA or IRB, whatever acronym for privacy. You say? Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Have you always been that way, Erica? Like when you were a kid, were you like that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I grew up with very toxic parents where there's a lot of secrets. So I have a hard time. Keeping secrets. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have always been like that too, where I always like need to tell my friends things or need to have somebody to like externally process things with. And I've actually been recently like trying to change that. And now you're kind of causing me to have an epiphany. Maybe I don't need to change it. Maybe I just need to embrace it, like, and schedule time with trusted people and be like, this is my external processing time.
Oh yeah, you can always contact me for that. And we're so far away that it's not like I'm not going to run into your people.
Totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, keep me in mind, because and I've accepted that. I mean, I'm almost 40. Like I'm not changing. And I don't think that. I think it might be an extrovert versus introvert thing too. Like I am an external processor. That's where my thinking happens outside of me. And like my partner, all of his thinking happens inside of him, which drives me crazy.
Oh my gosh, mine too.
So, but I think that might be part of who you are. And it's better to just find a safe outlet, or, if your head will explode.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle.
Mm-hmm. That's how spontaneous combustion happens. Just extroverts that haven't processed their thoughts.
Yeah.
I think pretty much. I think that's like how science works. So
yeah.
Okay. How have you held one another accountable to commitments, such as you committed to trying something in your field placement or with your field instructor, and what did follow through look like? I feel like I haven't asked you guys to really hold me accountable for things, but I feel like we've definitely checked in on like the progress of things, or if I had explained something that's happening in field placement or even at work, something that I'm dealing with, we've kind of talked about it, the following time, or even through email, like how's stuff going with that, or how's stuff going with like my uncle's house, or with Megan. I felt like we were like, whatever happened with those snakes from that landslide, or, we kind of like want to hear the end of this story, or like what's going on with that. So we've been pretty good to kind of follow each other's story and chat about like how things are going, or even personal things like vacations or trips or things. So
yeah, I agree. I didn't know
my daughter just screamed.
Go ahead.
No, my daughter just screamed. I was just looking at it.
Toddler attack. I agree. I think we've all had good follow through and catching up on things and seeing how it all pieces together from week to week or 2 week to week. And I don't think I've specifically asked for too much accountability on me, but I think you guys bring it forward, and the follow through you guys provide has been, and it inherently happens, I think, which is nice. Oops.
Yeah, I feel like our discussions have been more process oriented, and some of us, I know, Megan, you've gone through some personal stress. So I mean, part of the checking in was just like, how are you managing? We've all actually gone through some personal stress. Part of it's just been how are you managing your own self-care and your own health, yourself, as opposed to work or homework. And that's how it's felt to me. It's been a little bit more process and a little bit more managing the personal. As I said, my eye twitched.
Just kidding.
Okay. Is there anything else you wish to share about the Triad discussions?
I've just really appreciated getting to know you guys and being in our little circle triangle group. I think it's really, I would have appreciated doing this throughout the program. I mean, I know a commitment, and it's work, and it's coordinating schedules, and it's, you know, time on Sunday morning or whatever. But I think it has, for me, it's helped me enjoy the program more, which has been nice. And I'm
Yeah.
isolated.
I often feel like in my my group story, I'm not, because you know how we all have the other side group, the ones that are all going to be looking at this video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to knock it, so it's going to be amazing. They're all going to love me. I wonder how you folks react on that, because I feel like those people in that group where we're just responding by, you know, writing, I'm probably not as sensitive to them, or, you know, I just don't have that connection with them. And it is nice to have a connection with the class.
Yeah.
And also it's been nice to have a relation. I mean, it's so clear how this relationship between the three of us has evolved since our first meeting. It's been nice to practice letting a guard down, and then being more like, I made a lot of assumptions. I'm gonna go ahead and say that out loud. Made a lot of assumptions about y'all. And as our relationship has kind of gone on, I've been able to be more open, I guess, and let go of some of those assumptions that I had.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like part of making assumptions about us is because I often have like a huge dead animal?
The dead things that are surrounding you all.
I know.
No, yeah. It's not, I mean, it's not, you are a very stereotypical rural person with dead things around you.
I know. Sometimes I have like my American flag coffee cup and like my like antlers in the back, and I'm like, I promise I did not vote for Donald Trump. I promise.
I would not.
I do hunt and I do have guns.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about necessarily, I think that thinking about, you have definitely made me think about rural Oregon. Whereas, you know, being from rural Oregon, when you live in a city, you do kind of just wrap yourselves up in the city all the time. And you think, oh, you know, everything is, like, this is the center of the Oregon is Portland, but it's not, you know, and I know that. But it's been nice to have somebody in my life consistently who is reminding me of rural problems, rural issues, rural solutions. So not even going to talk about Megan in California.
don't bother. It's no.
Yeah. So thanks. We're not done. Are we staying together for next quarter?
I think so.
Okay, great. And I won't say too much more. I'll get myself in hot water.
Okay, well, I think that is it. Let me stop recording.